What's up, YouTube? We are here with the final review of the day with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, I don't know how you guys are gonna get these. This could be up first. This could be up third, fourth. I don't know. But this is the last one that I'm recording. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 11. The episode was titled "Old Testaments, New Revelations." You guys. So I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I was half asleep through this episode too, so I might leave some things out and I might say some things wrong. Charge it to the fact that I was just tired. But before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and not yet subscribed to the channel, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, turn your notifications on, share this video, and with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All right, you guys, so this episode, we picked up where we literally left off with the ladies having the dinner and discussing Jen. Lisa is a complete flip-flopper. Like, one minute you friends with Jen and on Jen's side, the next minute you are against Jen. So, oh God. So Lisa, she's doing her terror. Jen, we don't know who Jen is. Like, I just don't know who Jen is. None of us know who Jen is. I'm like, Lisa, there are no tears coming out of your eyes. Like, literally no tears coming out of your eyes. Like, I just feel very betrayed by Jen. Like, you know, when we did the photo shoot and I mentioned the guy that worked for her and she just flipped out on me. And they showed that Jen did flip out on her. So I wonder with the editing, how did that play out, right? Because in that scene, in that episode, I was kind of surprised that Jen did not flip out on Lisa, but she did. Or maybe they did show it and I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. So then they talk about this text. Now, see, this is where I was kind of confused. This is where they lost me at, right? They kept talking about this text message that they got. Now, I don't know if the text message was from Jen or what, but they kept talking about this text message, and Lisa mentioned the way that because was spelled. Because was spelled B-C-U-Z. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I actually read text. I had to pause it at one point to read the text message. But even when I read the text message, I'm like, what are they talking about? And they were talking about, they went even further and they talked back about what happened last season when they went to Vegas for their cast trip. I mean, if anybody understands what they were talking about with their text message, I just really was lost. And I wasn't even asleep at this point. I was still awake. I was just watching it. I'm like, what are we talking about a text message for? I was thoroughly confused. Now, if you guys know what that text message means, or if they said it in the after show, please let me know in the comments. I just was confused about it. So then we found out that Meredith hired a PI on Jen, right? Now, you guys remember when all that stuff was happening last season with Meredith and not even Meredith, with Jen and Brooks. She hired a PI, and you know, the PI said that the threats were coming from Jen. I'm like, damn, so you threatened a kid. That is terrible. Now we see Jenny. Jenny is defending Jen, and Heather says that she'll help Jen out. I'm like, girl, why? Did you forget how Jen came at you last season in Vegas when you were defending Whitney? Girl, I'm gonna defend her if he paid me to, right? So Meredith don't feel. Meredith is so stoic when it comes to Jen, and I don't blame her, right? Because she mentioned one thing, and I'm so happy that she said this, because this is something that the Beverly Hills girls not once mentioned this entire season. Meredith mentioned the damn victims. I don't mean to say damn, but Meredith mentioned the victims. She said, I ain't got nothing for Jen, especially if Jen defrauded the elderly. Hallelujah, somebody said it. I'm like, damn. It took for the new girls to say, if these allegations are true, I don't rock with that girl. Now, Mary, besides your lopsided ass wig and your terrible, what is up with Mary's skin? Besides that wig and your skin, I have an issue with you because in last week's episode, you were not going to come down on Jen, but in this week's episode, toward the end of last week's episode and the beginning of this episode, you have done a complete 180. You are against Jen. You ain't never saw nothing good in Jen, girl. I never saw nothing good in you. The only thing good that I see in you is the fact that you are just quirky and you just give me comedic relief. That's really it. Other than that, I don't see nothing good from you either, Mary Cosby. Quiet as it's kept. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next day we see the ladies split up. Actually, we saw the ladies as actually we saw Whitney them cooking breakfast, and she and Mary were talking while they were cooking breakfast because she made some eggs, and her and Mary were talking about the eggs. So then we see the ladies split up. I thought that Mary would now see when I was watching this, I thought that Mary was going with Jenny, Lisa, not Jenny, Jenny, Heather, and Whitney, but she didn't because Jenny, Heather, and Whitney they went dog sledding. That's really all I gotta say about that one. Meanwhile, Mary, Meredith, and Lisa, they're still at the house, right? So Meredith and Lisa are having a conversation with each other, right? And their conversation is about Mary and Cameron. Lisa is really annoying, right? Lisa is really annoying. Lisa is calculating. She's calculating. She's manipulative. She is just not a good person, in my personal opinion, right? So they're talking about Cameron. Now, mind you, Cameron must have said something to Lisa, but Lisa refuses to say what it is, right? And I'm like, then what was the purpose? Because I mean, with Cameron, you had to give to show him on camera. Bravo and their production company had to get his okay to release his image and likeness on the show. So that means that you brought him to the producers so they could film him. So why do that if you don't want to talk about it on camera? She's so fucking annoying. Then she says that Lisa said that she never said anything to her. Lisa says. Oh, she said she doesn't want to say anything to Meredith, basically to rattle her friendship with Mary. If that were the case, then again, here's my question. Why did you bring Cameron onto the show? Why did you bring Cameron to that event? You brought Cameron to that event so that he could run into Meredith, tell Meredith whatever cryptic shit you wanted him to tell Meredith about Mary. Now, she told us in the end of the episode, but they had to pull teeth to get it out. And I actually believe what she said. I mean, it's definitely not uncommon. I mean, let me pause right here. Right quick, right? Y'all want to talk so badly about Mary and her church, it being a cult. But couldn't that same sentiment be put on all religions, that all religions are nothing more than an organized cult, right? I mean, people have a following to especially when it comes to mega churches. Can we not say that can we not say that kind of stuff, right? Let's just be honest. You guys are coming at Mary, but that could be attached to any kind of congregation. The Mormon church, the Catholic church, Baptist, Church of God in Christ, whatever denomination you are, that could be attached to any religion. Pentecostal, that could be attached to any denomination, any religion that you practice, right? But okay, y'all just gonna play up Mary like she's I mean, I don't trust Mary, but okay. Okay, let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So the other ladies, we see them dog sledding, right? We see them dog sledding. We see that Meredith, Lisa, and Mary went ice skating. And we see with Jenny, Heather, and Whitney and Heather are talking about how manipulative Lisa can be. And I already went deep into how manipulative Lisa is. Lisa is not fooling anybody. Least of all, she ain't fooling me. Them fake ass tears, you do that as a point of deflection. You do that to deflect people from what you really got going on, right? So then we see, Heather is telling the ladies about her sister who lives in Colorado. Actually, that's her home state, right? So her sister was married right out of high school, but she married a man that wasn't Mormon. So basically the family excommunicated her. See, and let's talk about that, right? Heather wants to reach out to her sister while she's in Colorado. But let's talk about that. So y'all want to come at Mary, right, about the fact that her church might be a cult. But just listen to what I just said about the Mormon church. Heather's sister married a man outside of the religion and the family excommunicated themselves from her. What does that sound like? A fucking cult. So when y'all keep coming at Mary about her church being cult like I just said a few minutes ago, any denomination, you can say any of these denominations are cultish, especially if people follow the messenger. Because I haven't been to church in years, because I just, the reason why I haven't been in church in years is just because I started to realize a lot of things about the church, and I started questioning a lot of things about the church. I'm like, wow. I started questioning a whole lot of things about the church. I questioned a lot of things about the church. So I just said, I'm going to leave, because I don't need you to lead me to God. I know who God is. I can read my Bible, everything, because we go to church, we read the scriptures. I can do that stuff at home. So I don't have to come to this church every Sunday to hear you preach the word to me. I know what the word, I can read the word, I can interpret it, and I can find a way to utilize it in my life. So I don't need a church for that. But y'all want to talk about Mary's church being a cult. But this woman's sister was excommunicated because she fell in love with someone that was not a part of her religion. Now, again, does that not sound like a cult to you guys? Like, let's keep it real. Y'all want to play up Mary's church as a cult, but shit, what religion can't be considered a cult? But we're going to move on, you guys. All right, guys, let's talk about Jen. Jen. Girl, your lies are about as extravagant as Eric and Jane's are. So we see Jen, she's meeting up with her lawyer, right? So, he's telling her what they have to do. She went to court. She pled not guilty. Speaking of that, let's talk about what's going on currently with Jen's case. So, if you guys are not aware, Stu, who was charged right along with her, Stu has pled guilty. He's changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. So people think that Stu may have gotten a plea deal. And if he got a plea deal, Jen, hate to tell you, girl, but you fucked. You are fucked. Because Stu is going to drop a dime on your ass. Stu Chainz is about to drop a dime on you. And you going to jail. You might get the maximum sentence. Ooh, you fucked like Chuck. So, Jen is saying that, what they're saying that they have against her is the opposite of who she is. She says she's too giving and she helps too many people. Really? Because I never met that person that was giving. Yes, you gave Meredith a party last season, but everything that you do is all about Jennifer Shaw. It's never about anyone else but Jennifer Shaw, right? So then Jen starts telling us about, I noticed in this scene, because if you guys remember from the trailer, she asked her lawyer if Kim Kardashian was available. I guess they said, Bravo, please cut that out. So Jennifer talks to us about the phone call that she got, right? Now, I did watch last week's after show, so I know what she said last week in the after show. So she said last week in the after show that she got a phone call from the New York detective, right? Asking her, was she okay? And, Jen tells us that she had a stalker, right? And she thought that that's what they were calling her about, but it wasn't. So then in this episode, she lies once again. Jen says she got a call from Sharif's phone number. Girl, I really want you to stop dragging this black man in this, but she said she got a call from Sharif's phone, and that, it wasn't Sharif on the phone, that someone told her that she needed to go home and get Omar and get to the hospital. So then where did the internal bleeding come from? Jen, you forgetting your lies just like Eric and Jane forgot her lies, huh? No, I think somebody might have called you. I think somebody in your team called you and told you, hey, Jen, Stu just got arrested. They looking for you. Because she said that, because see, here's where she tripped herself up at, right? She said that they told her to get to the hospital. But then she said she got pulled over on the side of the road. So which one is it, Jen? Go to the hospital, but you got pulled over. Yeah, girl, you lying. Use a lie. But let's move on, you guys, and we're going to wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, so we see the ladies. They're dressed in, it looked like, I know it wasn't, actually, was that Amish gear that they had on? Or was it, I don't know what kind of shit they had on. Or was it Scottish? Or was it French? Hell, I don't know. I don't know. They were dressed up. Now, I don't know why Mary was in that room talking to herself and in the third person. You know, when people talk in the third person, that does kind of freak me out a little bit. I'm just like, why do you have to refer yourself in the third person? Now, I refer to myself sometimes in the third person on this channel, just, you know, when I be like, what JB wouldn't do, what Gerald wouldn't do. I don't do that in my normal everyday life. I never refer to myself by name. It's just creepy. So then, now in this interaction, Mary was hella rude the entire time. Mary was rude and judgmental, right? So they wanted to do shots at one point. Mary didn't want to do a shot. I'm not judging Mary for not wanting to do a shot. The issue that I had with Mary was when she judged Whitney for doing a shot ski. And I'm like, Mary, because you're like, people our age don't do that. Well, people Whitney's age might. Wait, Mary, your boss, Andy Cohen, has a shot ski in the Bravo clubhouse that he does on occasions. So is your boss, so you got an issue with your boss doing a shot ski? Girl, go to hell. So Whitney takes his time to address Mary, who continues to be rude to her. Mary is still in her feelings about the fact that Whitney did not answer her phone call. Mary, you're not God. You might think you're God, but you're not God. I don't have to answer my phone call for you. And then if I call you back and you don't answer, tough titties, boo. I'm not gonna kiss your behind. So Whitney was trying to talk to Mary. Mary was over there going to sleep. I'm listening to you. No, you might be listening to me, but I want to see your eyes. I want to know that you are, listening to me. I want to see your eyes. Make eye contact with me. I couldn't be around Mary because Mary would get the business from me. So then Mary leaves. Mary the phone behind her talking about Whitney just wants to know that you love her. She says, I'll tell her later, right? Because she's drunk. Mary, you had some wine too, so what are you talking about? So then they mention Cameron. Here we go with Lisa once again, hemming and hawing about Cameron. She doesn't want to say what Cameron told her. But they're like, Lisa, you basically brought him around. What are you trying to tell us? Ah, damn, I meant to go to Chick-fil-A. No, I didn't. Because it's almost 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. I guess we'll go to Starbucks and get me. Oh, they don't have butter croissants. Damn, what am I eating for breakfast this morning? Sorry, y'all. I just thought about that. That I hadn't ate. So when Meredith got at one point, she got pissed off and she was like, you know what? Basically, to Lisa, you brought him to me basically, and now you don't want to tell me what he said. So she told her he mortgaged his house and gave Mary $300,000. Do I believe it? 100%. I do. But that's a review, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button. So that way you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video and into the next one. Stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Bye.